Hey guys, James Nation here with Technic Nation, and today I'm really excited. I want to share with you guys the JBL Link series speakers. So we're going to be looking at two of them, the Link 10 and the Link 300. So if you're in the market for a Bluetooth speaker, then stick around and we'll talk about some of the features and tell you what I like and don't like about them. Alright, so before we get into kind of an individual look at each speaker, I want to hit on just some universal features between the two of them. So first, you of course have the Google Assistant. So both of these are smart connected speakers, and anyone who is familiar with Alexa and Google and Siri, you obviously know what I'm talking about. So if you're in the Google ecosystem, that would obviously be a big selling point on these, but even if you're not, it's really a nice to have and some already great speakers. The other features, they do support multi-room playback. You can also do stereo setup. So through the JBL Connect app, you can basically link these up to have one be your left, one be your right. Which would be great in certain, I guess, situations or depending on how you're using them. For me, it didn't make a lot of sense. I'm not really sure I would kind of like the sound that I would get from two different speakers, one acting as the left and one acting as the right. But if you had two Link 10s or two Link 300s, whatever the case may be, that would certainly be a nice feature to have. And then of course you've got the connectivity. They are both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 4.2. All right, so let's take a look at the big boy first, the Link 300. And this one is really a great little speaker. Maybe little's not the right word, but I was kind of blown away by the sound on this one. Now it is a connected device, and what I mean is you've got to connect it into an electrical outlet. So it's not battery operated. It's not meant to be a portable speaker. Having said that, I don't really think it's not portable. It weighs about 3 pounds, and setup is obviously incredibly simple. So, you know, if you're going camping, no, it's not the right choice for you. But let's say you're going to be spending a few days vacation at a house down at the beach. It'd be pretty easy to throw one of these in the car, take it with you. And that way you've got some pretty great sound to listen to. Now the output on the Link 300 is 50 watts, and that power is going to two speakers. You have a 20mm tweeter, and then you've got the 40mm subwoofer. Now I wasn't really sure what to expect from this one. I've had Bluetooth speakers in the past, but never anything large like this. And JBL advertises how the Link 300 has room-filling sound. And, you know, marketing talk, everyone thinks that their speaker's great. But I gotta say, I was blown away when I hooked this thing up and turned it on for the first time and started playing some tunes. It truly is room-filling sound. And, you know, I grew up with the idea of big bookshelf speakers and floor speakers and receivers and blah blah blah. Now, granted, this is not it's not quite that caliber, but it's way more than I was expecting to get out of it. So the big pro for the Link 300 is obviously the sound. You know, the Google Assistant is nice to have, but most people are buying the speaker for the sound, and it does not disappoint. I really wish I could turn the thing on and play it for you, but I know that wouldn't carry over in a video, so there's really no point. So you got to take my word for it a little bit, but I've experienced several other brands in the past, and this one will hold its own to pretty much anything I've listened to in the past, and I think you'll be impressed as well. All right, so next we're going to look at the little guy, the Link 10, and this one is of course meant to be a portable Bluetooth speaker. Total output I think is around 16 watts, and you know you might not expect too much out of such a small little package, but again, I was blown away by this one as well. And it doesn't have quite the deep bass that the Link 300 is, which is kind of obvious. It's got a larger woofer and it's more power, so it's to be expected. But this thing will fill a room for sure. So JBL, I don't think really actively markets this one as a room-filling sound, but it does, and I think you'll like it. Now, as part of that portability, this is battery operated, rechargeable, has a 4,000 milliamp hour lithium-ion battery, which will get you about 5 hours of playback. And you know, I have set this thing up in the garage when I've been working on the weekends, and it has certainly met that 5 hour kind of estimated or advertised time. The other great thing about this one is it's waterproof. It is IPX7 rated, so you can literally submerge this thing in water and it's still going to work. So if you were looking for something to keep by the pool, this would be a good one to consider. If you're taking it to the beach, what have you. It is a very rugged speaker, which is obviously another nice feature in a portable Bluetooth speaker like this. The device weighs about 1.5 pounds, so maybe not the lightest thing in the world. You're not going to throw it in your purse necessarily, but I think it's a really great trade-off for the quality of sound that you get, the amount of playback time that you'll get on a single charge. You know, really, I've been really impressed with this one. So as far as cons for the Link 10, there are only two. First one is the charge time. It's a little slow. It's about 4 hours to bring this thing back to a full charge once you've wiped that battery out. So that's a little slower than I was expecting and slower than I'm used to with like cell phones and things like that. But you know, not a big deal. These aren't typically devices that we charge on a daily basis like our phones. So even though you're using it for 5 hours and charging it for 4, it's not that big of a deal, I wouldn't think. The only other con for me, or the only other wish, would be that I wish it had a 3.5mm plug. So the only plug that you have on this one is the charging connection here in the back for the USB. And I get that it's Wi-Fi and it's Bluetooth, so there are plenty of ways to connect to it, but I don't know, maybe I'm just a little old-fashioned. I still like to have that old headphone jack, or at least the option to have that. So would have been nice to have, but not a huge knock, or at least not a game changer for me. So JBL, the Link series, they actually do have 4 offerings. They have the Link 10, and they also have a Link 20, which is very similar in look to the 10, a little bit larger, has a little bit more power, and it has about twice the battery life. So if you're looking for something in this realm, but you want more or longer playback, then the Link 20 might be a good option for you. The 10 will run you 150, the Link 20 will run you 200. So for 50 bucks, you get a little bit more power and double the battery life. So you've got to kind of decide what is, you know, how important that is to you. The Link 300 is the smaller, surprisingly, of the big boys in the class. So they also make a Link 500, which the big difference there is you're getting twice as many speakers. You get 2 tweeters, 2 woofers, and you get a little bit more power. I think it jumps from 50 watts in the 300 to 60, I believe, in the Link 500. So not a massive jump, and I'm sure it does sound better. I'm sure it sounds a little louder, but I've got to be honest, I think the Link 300 is more than enough for anyone out there. And this one will run you $250, and I think it's a pretty substantial jump if you want to go up to the Link 500. So for me, I wouldn't recommend it. The Link 300 is awesome. You know, again, I can't say enough, that room-filling sound advertisement, that's legit. It's a loud little speaker, very crisp, very clear, and that's true for both of these. So, if you're looking for portable, if you're looking for a little heavier duty, I would certainly recommend that you look at the JBL Link series. So that's it. That's my review. Hope you found this useful. If you have any questions or comments, obviously leave those below. Otherwise, I hope you found it useful, and thanks for watching.